Welcome back. I'm Hannah from 21st Century KY and 21st Century Literacy for Primary Teachers group on Facebook. In my last post, we talked about the 4 different types of readers you may have in your classroom, and today we're going to talk about one specific type. First, let's recap. Remember, we talked about fluency and accuracy and how when we put those 2 scores together, we can determine 4 basic types of readers within our class. First, you have the fast and right reader. This means they're benchmarked for fluency and they're reading at a 95% or more accuracy rate. This is what all of our students should be striving for. Next is the slow and right reader. This reader is reading at a 95% accuracy, but their fluency is below benchmark. That means they're reading slowly, but they're reading correctly. So they're on the right track and have a few things to work on. Then there's the fast and wrong reader. This reader is benchmarked for fluency, but is below 95% for accuracy. It means they're missing a lot of words, more than 5 out of 100, as they are reading the text. The last type of reader is the slow and wrong reader. This reader is below benchmark for fluency and accuracy. They have some capability, but they have a lot to work on as well. First, we're going to talk about the fast and right reader. If you haven't already done so, pause this video right now and go download our worksheet to accompany this series of videos. You should have a page that is labeled fast and right. We're going to talk about the characteristics of the fast and right reader and what instructional choices we might make for this reading group next. A fast and right reader, as we've seen on our chart, is fluent and accurate. So that means they're benchmarked for grade level fluency, and they're also benchmarked for grade level accuracy, reading at a 95% or higher accuracy rate on grade level passages. Fast and right readers are problem solvers. They are independent readers. They don't really need us there to help them all the time. And when they come across a word they don't know, they have a battery of options to try and solve an unknown word. Fast and right readers generally read with expression. Sometimes you'll run across a reader that's just trying to get through on the test or get through when a teacher's listening to them read, and so they may neglect some prosody. But for the most part, a fast and right reader is going to read with expression, and what comes with that is attending to punctuation. They're going to recognize those marks as they read and give the ebb and flow in their voice or the inflection based on ending punctuation as they're reading the text. And these kids are just in general at or above benchmark. It means these are your grade level average and above average students. So they're right where they need to be with their reading. So the goal of instruction for these kids is to continue that progress and also take their reading instruction to a deeper level. Kids that are fast and right really need to hone their comprehension skills. If they're reading with fluency and accuracy, there's really no excuse for them to not comprehend what they read. So they need to be thinking and learning about comprehension, making connections to the text that they're reading. They need to be thinking about author's purpose and author's craft through the process of creating the piece. They need to understand literary genres so that they can really make the most meaning of their reading. Sometimes kids are fast and right readers and they're not comprehending. So this is really a skill that we need to make sure they're mastering if they're in the fast and right category. They also need to build their vocabulary. Once they're reading fast and right on grade level, the way to continue to accelerate them forward is to build that vocabulary. So as they're learning to read these words, they need to understand what they mean. When their vocabulary is built and they have a frame of reference for a text that they're reading, they're going to be able to pull from their known vocabulary in order to guess new words that they may not have already known. They also need an increased text complexity. Gradually over time, these kids need more difficult text. And that may sound obvious, but sometimes these kids are above grade level. So just giving them the grade level benchmark text is not enough. In order to continue their growth and acceleration, they're going to need more difficult text. So finding those text fits that are at their instructional level is really important for them so that they can continue to grow and learn. And last but certainly not least, the fast and right reader needs lots of instruction on writing. I'm a firm believer that if we're doing our jobs right, their writing should progress with their reading. Meaning that if they are reading at a certain grade level with a certain amount of success, they should be writing with the same amount of success at that same level. And sometimes we get carried away with reading because writing is kind of tough and we let it go by the wayside when we don't have time in our schedule. But it is so, so important. In fact, research shows that when you advance students' writing capabilities, their reading will just naturally come along with it. So fast and right readers need opportunities to respond to what they're reading, to show they comprehend, to increase that text complexity and build their vocabulary, and also write about their own thoughts, the thoughts from the text or connections they may make, and also responses to the text that they're reading. Come back next time and we'll talk about the slow and right reader. Thank you.